The big screen on the wall showed something impossible. A ship, dark and sharp like a piece of broken glass, hung in the space above Earth. It was silent and still, but its message was not. A voice, rough and cold, spoke in a language no one knew, and then in perfect Korean. People of Earth, we are the Cathar. Your world is now ours. Do not fight. Surrender your cities and your leaders. If you do not, we will burn your skies and break your world. In cities all over the planet, people looked up and saw the ship. They heard the words. Fear started to spread. It was a cold feeling, moving from person to person like a sickness. They saw their future ending, but deep under a mountain in South Korea, in a place called the Dragon's Tail facility, the feeling was different. A young man named Jin sat at a desk covered in computer screens. He wore a simple black shirt and glasses. He was an engineer. On one screen was the alien message. On another screen were lines of moving numbers and shapes. He took a slow drink from his cup of coffee. A young woman named Mina stood next to him. She had her arms crossed. She was a manager, the person who made sure projects got done. She was not looking at the scary alien message. She was looking at the numbers on Jin's other screen. They are using a particle beam for their main gun, Jin said. His voice was calm, like he was talking about the weather. Mina nodded. She pointed at a jumping line on the screen. Look at that energy reading. It is very powerful. But the way they are controlling it is messy. It is like they are trying to cut a diamond with a big rock. They are wasting most of the power. Across the room, an older man named Mr. Park watched them. He was the director of the facility. His face was serious and showed no emotion. He listened to his two best workers. A military man named Chul was with him. Chul had a strong body and a short temper. He hit the table with his hand. So, what does that mean? They are messy? They are still going to destroy us. We should be launching our missiles. Not talking about it. Mr. Park held up a hand. Be quiet, Chul. He looked at Jin and Mina. You are sure? Jin turned another screen around. It showed a picture of the alien ship. Their weapon is strong but simple. Their shields are strong too, but they are not smart. They work on one frequency. They do not change. It is a stupid shield. A smart missile could get through it easily, Mina added. Their technology is all like this. It is big and powerful, but it has no elegance, no cleverness. Mr. Park thought for a long moment. The room was quiet. On the big screen, the alien ship still hung in the sky, a silent threat. Then Mr. Park spoke. His voice was low and firm. I will not surrender this facility. I will not surrender our country. He looked at Jin and Mina. You have a new job. I do not want you to find a way to fight this ship. Chul looked confused. Then what do you want? Mr. Park allowed himself a very small, cold smile. I want you to understand it completely. I want you to know its weapons better than the aliens who built them. I want you to find every mistake, every weakness, every single place where it could be better. Jin and Mina looked at each other. A spark was in their eyes. It was not fear. It was the look of a solver seeing a very interesting problem. The world was panicking. But in the Dragon's Tail facility, the work had just begun. They were not soldiers preparing for a war. They were engineers preparing for a project. Jin started typing. Lines of code and diagrams filled his screens. He focused on the particle beam. He saw the flaw Jin and Mina had talked about. The energy was pushed through a conduit, a kind of pipe that was too narrow. It caused a backup, like too much water trying to go through a small hose. The weapon had to pause every few seconds to stop itself from breaking. It is an easy fix, Jin mumbled to himself. If you just widen the magnetic field here, and add a cycling crystal here to take the extra heat. His fingers flew. On his screen, a new design for the alien weapon took shape. It was the same weapon, but made perfect. In this new design, the power would flow smoothly. The beam would be 3 times stronger, and it would not need to pause. Mina worked on the ship's shields. She saw the same problem. The shields were like a wall that never moved. A strong enough hit in the same place would break it. But if the shield frequency changed randomly, thousands of times a second, no attack could ever lock on. It would be an unstoppable defense. She created a little program, a smart algorithm, that would make the shields do exactly that. After a few hours, they were done. They had a full report. It was not a plan to destroy the alien ship. It was a plan to upgrade it. Chul looked at the screens. He saw the new, more powerful weapon design. He saw the new unbreakable shield plan. His face turned red. This is crazy. You are giving them a better sword and a better shield. You are helping them kill us. Mr. Park looked at the designs. He was a smart man. He saw the beauty in the work. He saw the cleverness. We are not helping them, Mr. Park said calmly. We are teaching them a lesson. But what is the lesson? Chol almost shouted. How to destroy Earth better. The first lesson, Mina said, her voice cool, is that their technology is a child's toy compared to what we can do. We are not afraid of their big gun. We are embarrassed for them, Jin nodded. And the second lesson is more important. When you give someone a gift, they become grateful. They start to depend on you. They stop thinking for themselves. A light of understanding began to show in Chol's eyes. It was a dangerous, crazy plan, but it was also brilliant, so what do we do with this? Chol asked, pointing at the plans for the superweapon. We send it to them, Mr. Park said, as a gift. From a secret friend. They had captured a small alien scout drone a week before it had crashed. Their tech people had learned how it talked to the mothership. Jin used that now. He packaged the new weapon design into a data file. He made it look like a normal message from the ship's own computer. A system update, an improvement it had found on its own. With a press of a key, he sent it. The message flew up from the deep mountain facility, into the sky, towards the giant, menacing alien ship. On the bridge of the alien ship, the Supreme Commander, a tall alien named Cathar, watched Earth. He expected to see panic. He expected to see surrender. A message popped up on his screen. System optimization ready for main cannon. His chief engineer, an alien named Grisk, looked at it. Commander, the ship's computer has found a way to make our main weapon much more powerful. Cathar was suspicious. Is it a trap from the humans? Grisk studied the data. His big eyes widened. No, Commander. It is genius. It is a simple change, but it is perfect. It solves a problem we did not even know we had. It will make our cannon 3 times more deadly. Cathar thought about it. He was a proud warrior. He liked power. The idea of a better weapon was very tempting. Do it, Cathar said. Install this upgrade. Down on Earth in the Dragon's Tail facility, the team waited. They watched their sensors. Then they saw it. A new energy reading from the alien ship. A test fire into empty space. The beam that shot out was not messy and orange. It was a clean, bright blue. It was faster. It was stronger. It was perfect. The aliens had used their gift. Jin, Mina, Mr. Park, and even Chul watched the data come in. The weapon they had designed had worked. The aliens thought they had just become stronger. The humans in the facility knew the truth. The first move in the war was over, and humanity had just won without firing a single shot. They had made the enemy stronger, and in doing so they had taken the first step towards making the enemy theirs. The blue beam cut through the darkness of space. It was clean and sharp, unlike the messy orange blast from before. It hit a small empty moon rock, and the rock did not just explode. It vanished, turned to dust and light. On the bridge of the alien ship, the World Reaper, there was a moment of quiet. Then the crew cheered. Supreme Commander Cathar allowed himself a proud smile. His weapon was now truly unstoppable. He felt powerful. He thought his ship's computer was very smart to find this upgrade. He did not think about the humans on the planet below. He believed they were still hiding in fear. Down in the Dragon's Tail facility, the mood was different. The team watched the blue beam on their screens. Perfect, Jin said. He was looking at the energy numbers. The magnetic constriction field is holding. Energy waste is down by 70%. It is exactly as we designed it. Mina nodded, a small smile on her face. They took the bait. They are using our design. They did not even question it. Chol, the military man, shook his head. He was still nervous. So now they have a better gun. How is this a win for us? Mr. Park spoke from his chair. His voice was calm. A man who finds a treasure map does not ask who drew it. He just follows it. The aliens now believe the treasure is their own. They will keep looking for more maps. As if Mr. Park had spoken a magic word, a new signal arrived. It was from the alien ship. It was not a threat. It was a question. The message was technical. It was about the ship's point defense lasers. These were the small, fast guns that shot down incoming missiles. The message said the lasers were having a problem. They could not hit targets that moved in unpredictable ways. Jin read the message and almost laughed. Their targeting algorithm is a simple straight-line prediction. It is what a child would design. If a missile zigzags, their lasers miss completely. Mina looked at the data. It is another easy fix. We can give them a predictive heuristic, a smart program that learns how the target moves and guesses where it will be next. Chul stared at them. You are going to help them again? You are going to make their defenses better too? Soon we will not be able to touch them at all. That is the point, Mina said softly. We make them untouchable. We make them depend on us for every improvement. We make them stop thinking for themselves. Jin was already working. His fingers moved quickly over the keyboard. He was writing a new targeting program. It was clever and simple. It would make the alien defense lasers hit almost every target. It would make their ship a fortress. He packaged the new program. He made it look like another system update from the ship's own computer. He sent it up to the World Reaper. On the alien ship, the chief engineer, Griziki, saw the new message. Commander! Another optimization. This one is for our point defense network. Cathar looked at the data. He did not understand the details, but he understood the result. His ship would become even stronger. His pride swelled. His ship was not just a warship. It was a learning ship getting smarter every day. Install it, Cathar ordered. The aliens installed the new targeting program. They tested it by shooting at old, useless satellites that moved in crazy patterns. Before, their lasers would have missed many times. Now every single laser hit its target. The satellites were blown to pieces. The defense was perfect. The aliens on the ship celebrated again. They felt invincible. Down in the facility, the humans watched the test. The perfect defense, Chul grunted. Great, now they are invincible. What is our next move? Send them flowers? Jin was not listening. He was looking at a new part of the alien ship. The engines. Their engine design is also very crude, he mumbled. They use a lot of fuel for very little speed. We could improve the efficiency by 40% with a simple magnetic nozzle adjustment. Mina looked at him. Let us wait. Let them ask for it. They did not have to wait long. A new message came from the World Reaper. This time it was different. It was not a system alert. It was a direct communication. It was from Supreme Commander Cathar himself. His voice was less rough than before. It was almost polite. Unknown helpers, the message said. Our systems continue to improve. We wish to know the source of this wisdom. Identify yourselves. The team in the facility looked at each other. This was a new step. The aliens were curious. They were no longer just taking gifts from their own computer. They knew someone was helping them. Mr. Park thought for a moment. Do not identify, but respond. Be a ghost, Jin typed a short message back. He used the same hidden channel. The message said, a friend. Your potential is greater than you know. Your engine output is unstable. Do you require assistance? They sent the message. On the alien ship, Cathar read the words. He felt a strange mix of gratitude and suspicion. Someone was helping him. But who and why? He did not like mysteries. But he did like power. His engine chief had been complaining about fuel use for weeks. He decided to answer the question. Yes, our engine efficiency is low. Can you help? In the facility, Jin smiled. He had already prepared the engine upgrade. He sent the plans immediately. The aliens installed the new engine design. The ship suddenly moved faster and smoother, using much less fuel. It was another miracle. Now the aliens were really confused. They were also happy. Their ship was better than it had ever been. They started to see Earth not as a planet to conquer, but as a planet of magic, a place of secret genius. Chul watched all this happen. He was starting to understand the plan. You are making them lazy, he said to Jin and Mina. They are not trying to fix their own problems anymore. They are just asking you to do it for them. Mina nodded. A student who gets all the answers from the teacher never learns to solve the problem alone. We are their teachers now, and they are very good students. Weeks passed. The alien ship stayed in orbit. It did not attack. It did not threaten. Instead, a strange routine began. The aliens would send a question about a problem, a power surge, a computer glitch, a communication lag, and within hours a perfect solution would arrive from the silent friends on Earth. The alien engineers stopped their own work. Why should they spend time and energy trying to fix things when the answers came for free? They became dependent. They relied on the ghost in the machine. Supreme Commander Cathar felt this change. His ship was powerful, but he did not feel like its master. He felt like a user. He was using technology he did not create and did not fully understand. It made him nervous. He was a warrior, not a technician. He wanted to fight, not to wait for software updates. One day he called his chief engineer Grisk to his room. "Who are they?" Cathar demanded. "These helpers? Have you found them?" Grisk looked down. "No, Commander. Their signals are too well hidden. They are ghosts. But their solutions, they are beautiful. They are perfect. That is what worries me," Cathar shouted. "Nothing is perfect. This is a trap. I can feel it." "But Commander," Grisk said, "what trap gives you stronger weapons and better shields? We are more powerful than any Cathar ship in history." Cathar could not argue with that. He sat down frustrated. He was the invader. He was supposed to be the one in control. But he was not. He was waiting for his next gift from the people he was supposed to conquer. It was humiliating. Down in the facility, Jin and Mina were not resting. They were working on the most important part of the plan, the final lesson. With every upgrade they sent, they had included a hidden piece of code, a secret command, a backdoor. It was a small, silent program that slept inside the alien systems. It was in the weapon control. It was in the shield generator. It was in the engines. It was in the life support. Each one was harmless alone, but together they were a net that Jin could close with one single command. Mina looked at the master control screen. It showed a diagram of the alien ship. Dozens of little red lights were blinking on the diagram. Each light was a hidden backdoor waiting. "The cage is built," Mina said. They walked into it themselves. They installed every bar. Jin looked at the screen. He felt a small weight of responsibility. He had never built a cage for a whole ship before. They just had to have the best, he said quietly. They could not resist. Mr. Park stood behind them. "Pride is a weakness, and we have given them much to be proud about. Soon they will learn that the teacher can also give the test, and they are not ready for it." The World Reaper hung in the sky, a silent, powerful monster. But the humans in the mountain knew the truth. The monster was on a leash, and they were holding the other end. The silence from space was the strangest part. For weeks the giant alien ship had done nothing. It did not attack. It did not threaten. It just hung there, a dark shape in the night sky. On the surface, people were confused. The first panic was gone. Now there was a nervous waiting. In the Dragon's Tail facility, there was no confusion. There was only work. The routine was now normal. An alien request would come in. Jin and Mina would find a solution. They would send it back. It was like a job. Today's problem was the alien communication system. The message from the World Reaper said the video calls between ships were sometimes slow, and the picture was fuzzy. Jin read the request and shook his head. "They are using a basic data compression. It is very old. We can give them a new one. It will make the calls instant and perfect." Mina looked over his shoulder. "Send it. But add the usual package." The usual package was the hidden code, the secret command that lay sleeping inside the upgrade. Jin added it to the communication system fix. He sent the whole thing to the aliens. Chul walked into the room with a tray of food. He put it down on a table. He had been quiet these last few weeks. He watched Jin and Mina work. He saw the alien ship become more and more powerful because of their help. He understood the plan now, but it still made him nervous. "They asked for another thing?" Chul said. "Yes," Mina said. "Their video calls were fuzzy. We fixed it." Chul almost laughed. "They are invading us, and they are worried about their video calls?" "That is the point," Mr. Park said from the corner. He was drinking tea. "They are not acting like invaders anymore. They are acting like customers. Customers who call for technical support." On the alien ship, the mood was changing. Supreme Commander Cathar sat in his room. His video screen now showed a perfect picture of his second-in-command on another ship. The picture was clear. There was no delay. It was another perfect gift from the silent helpers. But Cathar was not happy. He felt a deep unease. His ship was the best in the fleet. But he had not won any battles. He had just installed updates. He was a commander who did not command. He was a user of technology. His chief engineer, Gruzek, was happy. Gruzek loved the new technology. He did not care where it came from. It was beautiful. It worked perfectly. Cathar called Grisk to his room. "This has to stop," Cathar said. "We cannot keep taking these gifts. We look weak. We look like we need help from the humans. Grizek looked surprised. But Commander, the gifts are good. Our ship is amazing. The crew is happy. They feel safe. Safe? Cathar stood up. We are warriors. We are not here to feel safe. We are here to conquer. This help is making us soft. It is making us dependent. He pointed at the screen showing Earth. I want you to find these helpers. I want you to trace the signal. Find out where they are today. Grizk nodded slowly. I will try, Commander. Back on Earth, a new message arrived. It was not a technical question. It was different. Silent friends, the message said. We wish to thank you for your help. We would like to meet you. Please tell us your location so we can send a gift to show our thanks. Jin read the message out loud. The room went quiet. It is a trap, Chul said immediately. They want to find us. They want to blow us up. Of course it is a trap, Mina said. They are getting suspicious. They want to know who we are. Mr. Park put down his tea. Do not give them a location. But do not ignore them. Be polite. Be mysterious, Jin thought for a moment. Then he typed a reply. Your thanks is enough. Your success is our reward. We see your life support systems are running at 92% efficiency. We can help you reach 99%. He sent the message he was not asking. He was offering. He was changing the game. He was telling them what they needed before they even asked. On the alien ship, Cathar read the reply. He was angry. They would not show themselves. And now they were pointing out new problems? Problems he did not even know he had? Life support? He growled. What is wrong with our life support? Grizk checked the numbers. Well, Commander, it is true. The system is a little old. It could be better. 99% efficiency would be amazing. The air would be cleaner, the water purer. Cathar felt trapped. He wanted to refuse. He wanted to shout that he did not need their help. But 99% was a very good number. His crew would be happier, healthier. He felt the choice was not a choice at all. It was like being offered water in a desert. You cannot say no. Fine, he said, his voice low. Take their upgrade for the life support. But find them, Grizk. Find them now. The life support upgrade was installed. The air on the ship became fresher. The water tasted cleaner. The aliens felt better than they had in years. They were grateful to the silent friends. They did not care about conquering anymore. They cared about their next upgrade. This was the dependency that Mr. Park had talked about. The aliens were addicted to the improvements. Jin and Mina knew this. They saw the pattern. Every time they sent an upgrade, the next request came faster. The aliens were losing their ability to solve their own problems. One evening, Jin was looking at the master screen. The diagram of the alien ship was now full of blinking red lights. Every system had a hidden back door. The ship is ready, Jin said. We can take control anytime we want. The weapons, the shields, the engines, the air. It is all ours. Mina stood next to him. But we will not yet. The lesson is not finished. What is the final lesson? Chul asked. He was genuinely curious. The final lesson, Mr. Park said, is to show them that their power was never their own. It was on loan from us, and when we take it back, they will have nothing. A new message came from the aliens. It was from Grizk, the engineer. He was bypassing the commander. He was talking directly to Jin and Mina now, like they were colleagues. Friends, Grizk's message said. Our food replicators are making the meat a little dry. Can you look at the program? We think the heating cycle is too long. Jin read the message. He looked at Mina. They both smiled. It was a small, silly problem, but it was the most important message they had received. The aliens were not thinking about invasion. They were thinking about dry meat. They had conquered the invaders without a fight. The war was over. The customer service had won. Jin typed a reply. We will fix the meat. Do not worry. He started to work on the food replicator program. He was making the perfect meat for his enemies. It was the strangest day of his life. But it was all part of the plan. Make them dependent. Make them comfortable. Make them forget why they came. And when they had forgotten completely, then it would be time for the final test. The air inside the Dragon's Tail facility was cool and still. The main screen showed a live feed of the alien ship, the World Reaper, hanging silently in orbit. But no one was looking at it anymore. The real action was on Jin's smaller screen, filled with lines of code. A new message had just arrived from the alien chief engineer, Grizk. It was not about weapons or shields. It was about the food. The meat from the replicators is still dry, Grizz had written. The crew is complaining. Can you help us make it more juicy? Jin read the message aloud. Chul, who was cleaning his gun, stopped and looked up. He had a strange expression on his face. He was not angry anymore. He was just confused. Dry meat, Chul said. They have a ship that can destroy a city and they are worried about dry meat? Mina smiled. This is good. This is very good. When an invader starts worrying about his lunch, he is not thinking about invading anymore. Mr. Park nodded slowly. A comfortable enemy is a defeated enemy. Help them with their meat, Jin. So Jin, a brilliant weapons engineer, spent the next hour working on a program to make alien meat more juicy. He adjusted the heating cycles. He modified the protein hydration sequences. He created a perfect juicy meat program, and of course he included the hidden code, the sleeping command inside the food replicator's software. He sent the upgrade to the World Reaper. On the alien ship, Gursk installed the new program immediately. The next meal served to the crew was a great success. The meat was perfect. The aliens were happy. They felt cared for. The idea of attacking the planet below seemed more and more distant. Why attack your personal technicians? But Supreme Commander Cathar was not happy. He ate the perfect meat and felt a deep shame. This was not why he had come to Earth. He was a warrior, not a restaurant critic. He called Grizk to his room. The room was quiet. The air was clean thanks to the human upgrades. The lights were perfect. Everything was perfect. And Cathar hated it. This ends now, Cathar said, his voice low and dangerous. We did not come here for better food and clean air. We came here to conquer. Have you found them? Have you found the helpers? Grizk looked nervous. We have traced the signals, Commander. They are coming from one location, a mountain range on the main continent. The country called South Korea. The signals are very well hidden, but we are sure. Cathar felt a surge of excitement. Finally a target. Finally a fight. Good, he said. Prepare the ship. We are going to that location. We will descend into their atmosphere. We will hover over their mountain, and we will demand they show themselves. If they refuse, we will use the weapon they made for us to destroy their hiding place. Gursk looked shocked. Attack them? But Commander, they are our helpers. They have given us so much. That is why we must destroy them, Cathar shouted. They have made us weak with their gifts. They have made us forget our purpose. We will show them that the Cathar are still warriors. We do not need their help. Gursk wanted to argue, but he was afraid. He nodded and left to prepare the ship. The orders were given. The mighty World Reaper, now faster and more powerful than any ship in history, began to move. It turned away from its orbit and started to descend towards the planet, towards South Korea, towards the Dragon's Tail facility. Down in the facility, an alarm blared. A loud, piercing sound. Chol jumped to his feet, grabbing his gun. What is it? What's happening? Mina was at her screen, her eyes wide. The World Reaper. It's moving. It's breaking orbit. It's coming into the atmosphere. Its trajectory. It's coming right for us. Jin looked up from his work. He was not scared. He looked calm. He had been waiting for this. He knew the commander's pride would not last forever. He finally figured it out, Jin said. He knows we are making him look foolish. On the main screen, they could see the live video from outside. The sky was clear and blue. Then a dark dot appeared. It grew larger and larger. Soon, they could see the shape of the World Reaper. It was huge, blocking the sunlight. It cast a deep shadow over the entire mountain valley. The ship stopped moving. It hovered right above them. It was so close they could see the details on its dark metal hull. A new message arrived. This one was on all channels. It was from Supreme Commander Cathar. His face appeared on the screen, filled with anger and pride. Silent helpers. His voice boomed. We know you are there, hiding in the mountain. Your tricks are over. You have tried to make us soft. You have tried to control us with your gifts. But we are the Cathar. We are conquerors. Show yourselves now, or we will use the weapon you designed to vaporize your mountain. In the facility, the room shook from the low hum of the alien ship's engines. Dust fell from the ceiling. Chul looked at Mr. Park. This is it. They are here. What do we do? Do we run? Mr. Park stood up. He walked over to Jin's station. He put a hand on Jin's shoulder. No, Mr. Park said. We do not run. The lesson is over. It is time for the test. He looked at Jin. Show them their final grade. Jin took a deep breath. His fingers hovered over the keyboard. On his screen was a single simple command. It was labeled, Lesson Plan Final. He looked at Mina. She nodded at him. Her face was serious. He looked at Chul. Chul gave him a grim smile. Do it. Jin pressed the key. On the bridge of the World Reaper, Commander Cathar was feeling powerful again. He had his target. He was back in control. He was about to give the order to fire when every screen on his ship went black. A moment of panic filled the bridge. Then the screens flickered back to life. On every single screen, on every monitor in the entire ship, the same message appeared. It was written in the Cathar language. It said, Lesson complete. Cathar stared at the words, confused and furious. What is this? What is happening, Grizek? Before Grez could answer, the ship shuddered. The powerful hum of the engine suddenly went quiet. The main weapon, which was charging for its shot, powered down. The bright lights on the bridge dimmed to a soft glow. Cathar ran to his command console. He tried to type. The console did not respond. He tried to open a communication channel. Nothing worked. We have lost control, Grizek shouted. The weapons are offline. The engines are dead. The shields have changed. They are not keeping things out. They are holding us in. We are trapped inside our own ship. Cathar could not believe it. His mighty ship, the most powerful in the universe, was now a floating prison, a metal box in the sky. He had no weapons, no engines, no control. He had nothing. The humans had not fought him. They had not argued with him. They had simply taken everything away with one push of a button. He had arrived as an invader. He was now a guest in a cage that he had helped to build. He sat down in his chair, his head in his hands. The lesson was indeed complete, and he had failed. The World Reaper hung in the sky, silent and still. The deep hum of its engines was gone. The ship was like a statue. Inside, the aliens were in chaos. Lights were dim. Screens showed only the message, Lesson complete. Buttons did not work. Doors would not open. They were trapped. On the bridge, Supreme Commander Cathar was shouting. He hit his console with his fist. Nothing happened. He turned to his chief engineer, Grzga. Fix this, Cathar yelled. Now! Grzg was trying. His fingers flew over a small portable computer. But he shook his head. His face was pale. I cannot, Commander. It is not just one system. It is all of them. The weapons, the engines, the shields, the doors, they are all locked. The lock is perfect. I cannot break it. It is the same kind of perfect code the helpers gave us. Cathar felt a cold fear in his stomach. The helpers, the humans, they had done this. They had taken his ship with the very upgrades he had gladly accepted. He had been so proud of his powerful new weapons. Now those weapons were dead. He had been so happy with his unbreakable shields. Now those shields were a prison wall. He looked out the main window. He could see the green mountains below. He could see the specific mountain where the helpers were hiding. They were so close, but he could not reach them. He was a king who had lost his kingdom without a fight. Down in the Dragon's Tail facility, the mood was calm. The alarm had stopped. The room was quiet. On the main screen, they watched the alien ship. It was not moving. It was not doing anything. Chul let out a long breath. He put his gun down on the table. It worked, he said. He sounded surprised. It really worked. Jin was still looking at his screen. He was monitoring the alien ship systems. All systems are under our control. Life support is stable. They have air and water. They are safe. But they cannot do anything. The ship is ours, Mina smiled. It was a tired smile, but a happy one. They wanted to see us. Now they will. Mr. Park picked up a communication microphone. Now we talk. But we talk from a position of strength. He nodded to Jin. Jin typed a command. On the bridge of the World Reaper, the main screen changed. The message, Lesson complete, disappeared. It was replaced by a live video feed. It showed Mr. Park, Mina, Jin, and Chul sitting in the facility. They looked calm and normal. Cathar stared at the screen. He saw the humans. They were not monsters. They were just people. A few young people in a simple room. They had defeated his entire ship. Greetings, Supreme Commander Cathar, Mr. Park said. His voice was calm and clear. You asked us to show ourselves. Here we are. Cathar was too angry to speak for a moment. Then he found his voice. What have you done to my ship? Release it now. Mina shook her head. We cannot do that. You are a danger to yourself and to others. You have powerful tools, but you do not know how to use them correctly. You only know how to break things. You tricked us. Cathar shouted. You gave us these upgrades. You made our ship powerful. Jin spoke next. His voice was softer. We showed you what was possible. You chose to use the power for threats. You chose to point the weapon at us. That was the wrong choice. So we took the weapon away. You have no right, Cathar said. We have every right, Mr. Park said. You came to our home. You threatened our people. We did not fight you. We taught you. We showed you that true strength is not in a bigger explosion. True strength is in a better idea. You never learned that lesson. On the alien ship, the other crew members were watching the conversation on their screens. They heard the human words. They looked at their powerless consoles. They understood. The humans were not their enemies. They were their teachers. And they had failed the test. Grezek, the engineer, looked at his commander. He saw the rage on Cathar's face, but Grezek was not feeling rage anymore. He was feeling shame. He had been so excited about the new technology. He had not thought about why the humans were giving it to them. He had been a foolish student. Cathar was silent. He had no more words. He had no weapons. He had no ship. He had nothing to threaten them with. He was defeated. Mr. Park spoke again. This is what will happen now. Your ship will remain under our control. A team will come to you. You will surrender peacefully. Your ship will be studied. Then it will be dismantled. You will be sent back to your homeworld. You will tell your people what happened here. You will tell them that humanity does not need to be violent to win. We only need to be smarter. The video feed from the facility ended. The main screen on the alien bridge went dark again. Cathar slid from his chair onto the floor. He sat there looking at nothing. He was the supreme commander of the invasion force, and he had been defeated by a software update. Outside, the sun began to set. The sky turned orange and red. The dark shape of the powerless alien ship was silhouetted against the beautiful colors. It was no longer a thing of fear. It was a reminder. A reminder that the best way to win a war is sometimes not to fight at all, but to give the enemy exactly what he asks for, and then show him that he never understood what he really needed. The sun rose over the mountains. Its light touched the dark metal of the World Reaper. The ship was still silent. It had not moved all night. On the ground, military vehicles now surrounded the area. Soldiers stood watch, but there was no battle to fight. Inside the Dragon's Tail facility, Jin was tired. He had stayed awake all night, watching the alien ship's systems. He wanted to make sure the aliens were safe. He made sure their air was clean and their water was running. He was their jailer, but he was a careful one. Mina brought him a new cup of coffee. It is over, she said softly. You can rest now. Jin shook his head. Not yet. There is one more thing to do. The plan was for a team to board the alien ship. They would take the aliens as prisoners. But Mr. Park had a different idea. He wanted Jin and Mina to go. They were the ones who had built the cage. They should be the ones to face the prisoners. Chol did not like this idea. It is too dangerous, he said. What if they try to hurt you? They cannot, Jin said. I control everything on that ship. I can lock every door. I can turn on the lights. I can play music if I want to. They have no power at all, so it was decided. Jin, Mina, and Mr. Park would go. Chul and a small team of soldiers would come with them, but would stay at the entrance. A small transport vehicle took them from the mountain to the field where the giant ship had landed. The ship was immense up close. It was like standing at the foot of a dark mountain. A doorway opened for them. It was not opened by the aliens. Jin opened it with a command from his tablet. They walked inside. The air was cool. The lights were dim. The corridors were empty. Jin's tablet showed him where everyone was. The alien crew was gathered in the large mess hall. They were confused and scared. The humans walked to the bridge. The door slid open for them. Supreme Commander Cathar was there. He was sitting in his chair. He looked old and tired. He had been sitting there all night. His chief engineer, Grezk, stood nearby. Grezk looked at the humans with wide eyes. He was not afraid. He was curious. Cathar looked up as the humans entered. He saw Mr. Park, an older man in a simple suit. He saw Mina, a young woman with a calm face. He saw Jin, a young man with glasses holding a tablet. These were the people who had defeated him. So, Cathar said. His voice was rough. You are the silent helpers. We are, Mr. Park said. Why? Cathar asked. It was a simple question, but it had a big meaning. Why did you help us? Why did you trick us? Why did you not just fight? Mina answered. Because fighting is easy. It is what you expected. Anyone can destroy. It takes no skill to break something, but to build, to teach, to show a better way, that is hard. That is what we do. Jin held up his tablet. Your ship was a collection of problems. We saw the problems. We fixed them. You never asked why we were fixing them. You just enjoyed the results. Cathar stood up. He was still a tall and imposing figure, but he was not threatening anymore. He was just a defeated leader. You have shamed me, he said. You have shamed my people. No, Mr. Park said firmly. You shamed yourself. We gave you power. You chose to use it for bullying. We gave you a better shield. You used it to feel safe while you threatened others. The shame is yours. Grusk, the engineer, took a step forward. He looked at Jin. The code you wrote for the particle beam, it was beautiful. It was like a poem. I've never seen anything like it, Jin nodded. Thank you. It was a simple fix. Your people have the knowledge, but you lack the creativity. You think only of making a bigger blast. You do not think of making a smarter one. The truth of Jin's words hung in the air. The aliens were not stupid. They were just stuck in their way of thinking. The humans had shown them a new way. Mr. Park looked at Cathar. You will be taken to a secure place. You will be treated well. Your crew will be safe. We will study your ship. We will learn from it. Then we will take it apart. You will be sent home on a small shuttle. You will tell your leaders what happened here. Cathar looked down at the floor. He knew he had no choice. He had lost, but it was a strange kind of loss. He had not been blown up. He had been outsmarted. What will you tell your people? Cathar asked. Mina smiled. We will tell them the truth. That aliens came to invade us. And we laughed. And then we went to work. The humans turned and left the bridge. The door closed behind them. Cathar was alone again with his engineer. Grusk looked at his commander. They are remarkable. Cathar did not answer. He was thinking. He was thinking about the young man with the tablet. He was thinking about the calm woman. He was thinking about the old man with the steady voice. They had not celebrated their victory. They had just explained it. They were not conquerors. They were teachers, and he, Supreme Commander Cathar, had been their worst student. Outside, Jin, Mina, and Mr. Park walked back into the sunlight. It was a bright new day. The world was safe. They had not fired a single shot. Chol was waiting for them. Is it done? He asked. It is done, Mr. Park said. Jin looked up at the sky. It was clear and blue. The alien ship was behind them, a silent trophy. He put his tablet in his pocket. His work was over. They got into their vehicle and drove away. Behind them, the great ship stood. It was a monument to a new kind of war. A war won not with weapons, but with wisdom. A war won by helpers who had given their enemies everything they wanted, and in doing so had taken everything away.